Both Stamford and Norwalk have neighborhoods and corridors that for a long time have been underinvested, filled with traffic, congestion, outdated infrastructure, and safety concerns. But federal funding and a new focus from local leaders have improvements coming to these areas. These neighborhoods, which include the west side and east side of Stamford, along with the areas around Martin Luther King Boulevard in South Norwalk, are some of the most diverse in our region, and some of the most underinvested. But that's starting to change, thanks to a combination of local, state, and federal efforts to improve and enhance these neighborhoods, both for longtime and new residents. Norwalk received a $14 million federal RAISE grant to make MLK Boulevard and a few surrounding streets safer for pedestrians, bicyclists, and drivers. This grant follows a $3 million investment from the state a few years ago to enhance the corridor through facade improvements, public art, street trees, and more.
This is an exciting project. We're going to be bringing a complete streets project to Martin Luther King Boulevard as well as some of the surrounding streets through this $14 million grant that we received. All throughout the country, there's been concern about Martin Luther King Boulevards, that when they're named after this great man, they then don't take care of them and they tend to fall into a state of disrepair. Well, we're going to change that because we're going to make this street worthy of that name.
A combination of state, federal, and local officials called the grant transformative for the city and the neighborhood.
We have a chance with this grant to really make Norwalk a draw for young professionals in particular, all around this area who want to be somewhere where they can live a life that allows them to spend time on their feet or on their bicycle instead of spending hours on end in a car, in traffic. We have a proposal here that's really going to fundamentally transform the way that people move here in this neighborhood.
Meanwhile, in Stamford, the city received a $17 million Reconnecting Communities and Neighborhoods grant from the U.S. Department of Transportation to improve connectivity and pedestrian safety on the west side. This funding will include part of the Mill River Greenway project, stretching between Tresser Boulevard and Richmond Hill. City officials said this grant will enhance connectivity on the west side and make it easier to navigate for residents. In addition, the city received a $2.1 million RAISE grant to support the redesign and engineering of 1.1 miles of West Main Street, from Greenwich Avenue to Havermeyer Lane. Combined with an additional $1.4 million from the city, this funding will support the planning and design for improving West Main Street, with complete streets, enhanced pedestrian safety, added bike lanes, and more. And finally, the east side of Stamford is next on the list. The city approved spending more than $350,000 for a Cove Eastside neighborhood plan to explore ways to make the area safer and easier to get around transportation-wise for residents. In addition, Congressman Jim Himes secured $3 million in federal funding for efforts to bring a branch of the Ferguson Library to the neighborhood. While elected members of the Board of Finance asked for more information before approving additional funding for the project, some said they supported the effort. City officials said they believe the community is in great need of these services and is looking for ways to make the library happen. Reporting for Coastal Connecticut Times, I'm Kelly Prinz.